Hello guys. So basically, this video is not related to our ongoing React development series. That series will go on, and I will be uploading videos there. I just wanted to start a new series, basically a discussion series, where I wanted to discuss about ongoing or trending technologies, or like topics where beginners get confused, like which programming language to use, or where to work on, which technology to opt on, and everything like that. So basically we will be discussing about all of that, like which technology you can begin with, or what kind of programming language you should work on, or how to optimize your code, or you can say like basically how to improve your programming skills and all of that. So this is the very first video of our discussion series, and I will create a separate playlist for this particular series, and I will be uploading videos there only. And again, this is the first video, and we are going to discuss about like what is the difference between React JS and Angular JS, and if you are a beginner, then which technology or which framework you should start working on, and all of that. So again, right now this is the most highlighted topic, and everyone is searching about the same thing, like React is better or Angular is better, or which is harder to learn, and everything that. So we are going to discuss all of that, and we are in this particular slide I have included some statistics. Basically in this presentation I have included some statistics which shows the which will give an idea about what kind of technology is currently trending, or which framework is more popular, and everything we are going to see that basically. So let's begin. And basically in this table there is a comparison given between both of the framework. So right now we can discuss about all of them one by one. So basically this Angular JS was introduced by Google, and it was its initial release was in 2010, and this was initially released by Facebook in 2013. So it is newer in comparison to this Angular JS. It is almost 10 years old now, and again it is just 7 years old. And now what we can see here, like this is the history basically. Like it was released by Google, and it was basically by Facebook, but there are some differences between both of them. So we will be discussing about these differences, because these differences are going to give us idea about like which technology is better in what sense. So basically both are JavaScript framework, and both but here you can see this is framework and this is library. So React JS is basically a library, and Angular JS is a framework. So what is the difference between library and framework? So library basically library you can discuss, like you can think like a library is a set of functions, or a library can contain set of functions or object, and that are defined there to perform some specific operations. So that is library. And like framework, so framework is a broader term, or you can say framework is a superset for this particular library. Means a framework can contain multiple libraries, so there will be different libraries for different tasks to perform. And again in many cases framework can contain even a single library only. And again framework can be much larger in comparison to library, because framework can contain like some additional tools as well, software tools and everything. So this is why basically Angular JS is much broader in comparison to this React JS, because it has a complete framework. So we call it MVC, and MVC framework it follows, and basically all of the tools and everything are pre-built, and you can just use them. And library is a smaller in a smaller context. We use basically it is just for building UI interfaces, though both Angular and React we use just for UI, but it is contains much more library in comparison to this particular React JS. So again this was the first difference. And now both works with DOM, but this React JS particular works with particularly virtual DOM. So virtual DOM is much better, because on all the tree exists inside client side only, and virtually it is created, so it becomes easy to access all the HTML elements. So basically it improves performance of the the client side application or whatever the application we are building. So that is the difference. Basically it uses regular DOM, and it uses virtual. And again there is a binding concept. So AngularJS has two-way data binding, and this one has one way. So again, two-way data binding means if you make some changes to the UI, then corresponding model or component whatever you have defined at the backend, that is also going to change. And again you make some changes to the model or component, then UI going to change. So both way there is a binding, means there is a linking. And there it is only one way binding, means suppose you are making some changes to model, then there is not going to be any change inside your UI or user interface. So I can give a very basic example sorry, basic example of this one. Like two-way data binding means, suppose you have an UI, means you go to the browser and you have built some application, and there is a input box is there where you can type something. So as soon as you type something, so there always a value properties associated with the input box, so that is going to change as soon as type something in that input box, or you can say search bar, if you are using two-way data binding. So you are making changes to UI, but your internal value of that input variable or input tag is also changing inside your component wherever you define that. But in one-way data binding there is no such concept. In one-way data binding you have to call you have to call an event handler to perform all these operations. Means suppose you are changing something, or you want to make some changes after the button user clicks the button, so in that case you have to raise an event handler like on click or on submit. So that way then only there can be two-way data binding. So by default it has one-way data binding and it has a two-way data binding. So that is the difference basically. So here basically Angular wins because two-way data binding gives us more you can say reliability, or you can say it becomes easy to perform operations. We do not need to take care of event handler and everything what is but like in this case we have to define a separate event handler for all the operations we are going to perform. So that is why it becomes better. But again here it was becoming better. So there are the concepts like in some concepts like in some way Angular is better, in some way React is better. And again if you see like for this AngularJS high learning curve and for this one low. So high learning curve means because what happens when you are beginning with this AngularJS, so you have to learn TypeScript, because it is not a completely JavaScript based like React.js is completely JavaScript, means all the operations or all the code you write, that is in only JavaScript or JSX we call it. And but here inside this what happens, you have to learn a separate language, that is a TypeScript. So basically you need to have some advanced idea, some basic idea about particular additional tools and everything. So it has it becomes difficult for beginner to opt for this particular AngularJS. So that is why starting with React.js becomes easy, because everything you are going to work around will be JavaScript only. So these were the concept. Basically these were the differences that you can clearly see here, like what AngularJS consists and what React.js consists. So basically now what we are going to do, which technology we should or which framework we should select for developing, or with what framework we can start working on projects and everything. We will be discussing about that part in end of the at the end of the video. And in between I'm going to show you some statistics regarding like stack overflow data or Google Trends data, and that will be showing you that how React.js is overcoming every of the framework out there in current scenario. So basically if you go to this particular graph, and you see that most loved, dreaded and wanted web framework. So if we select this option for loved one, so we can see that React.js has clearly overcome all of the frameworks out there. So you can see like AngularJS is much lower in this ranking, and React.js is on the top. So React.js is becoming popular nowadays, and developers have started working on this one. And again, if we see for the Google Trends, so again you can see React.js is completely overtaking this AngularJS again. As you can see, it is basically red line that is showing React. So in this way, basically both of them are overtaking. Basically, this React is overtaking in both of the cases, like here and here as well. Clearly, it is most popular right now and becoming popular day by day. And again, if we see for the work comparison or job comparison, so on Upwork I search for particular this one by category, by React.js or by AngularJS. So clearly you can see I got 870 jobs regarding React.js, but just 725 regarding AngularJS. And this was just was is with only Upwork. And there are many websites, if you search for there also, so you will get the same trend like React.js. Almost you'll get 100 or 150 plus jobs in React.js as compared to this particular what we call AngularJS. So this is where you can see like React.js is much popular in this context, and people have started working on React.js. Even many of the developers have shifted towards this React.js instead of using AngularJS, and new projects are being developed using React.js only. So this way, currently React.js is overcoming every of the framework out there. So finally, we can have our talk regarding which one I should use or which one we should start working on. So again, they have their own advantage. Like in React.js, what happens? Functions can be you can use them limitlessly, because you just create function and you can modify them according to your way, or you have much control in comparison to defining components and everything in React.js. But in AngularJS, what happens? Like AngularJS has its own advantage of managing dependencies automatically. So this features is unavailable in this React.js. And again, they have their own demerit, like groundwork is much required, and much more it is much more time taking in comparison to this AngularJS, because every time you have to create each of the components and you have to define its property and everything. So you can say for set up your base, or setting up your base, or you can say defining the model of your application, will going to take much longer time in context to React.js instead of AngularJS. And in AngularJS, again, the learning curve is steeper, because you have to learn different languages and tools to work around this AngularJS. So both have their own demerits and their own merits. But again, which to use when, means which technology I should use and while working on a project. So again, if you are going to start with slow initiation of your development phase, means you just want to go phase by phase, and very there is no much competition is there, means you have a lot of time to develop your application from very basic. In that case, you can use React.js easily. And again, if there are much more functionality regarding UI, so in that case React.js clearly overcomes every of the framework out there, because designing UI is much more dynamic in the case of what we call React.js. But in the case of this AngularJS, robust and fulfilling framework of your project. So here, because it is it's been almost 10 years since its launch, so it is a robust, means every of the application can support it, and it is very step by step solutions can be given to every of the for every of the application out there. But in case of UI oriented website, you should go with this React.js. But in the case of AngularJS, if your website is much more UI oriented, in that case AngularJS creates problem, because there are for many of the drawbacks regarding this UI building. And even it's been 10 years, still developers have find some difficulties working around them. And so this was it. And again, you can see whatever the websites have been created using which of the technology. So clearly Facebook, Airbnb, and Instagram, WhatsApp, everything uses React.js. And basically React.js was invented by Facebook only. Like Instagram and WhatsApp are owned by Facebook, so ultimately they will be using their own framework. And Netflix and Dropbox are there. But again, in case of AngularJS, Google, HBO, and Upwork, and everyone of like this of websites use AngularJS. but like the concept is again the concept is like so again, if you get confused, just think of your project, what kind of projects you are going to build using what kind of technology. So if you are going to be building a UI based website, then you should go with React.js. Or if you are a beginner, you just have worked on JavaScript previously, so you can start working with React.js right away, because it will become very easy. It is going to be very easy to develop React.js applications, because just you have to have knowledge about this JavaScript only. But with AngularJS, again, you have to learn some additional technologies, so in that case, again, it is going to be a tedious task. So that was the video all about, and I hope you got the uh, the concept I wanted to discuss in this particular video. So just think about it, and you can see it by yourself, or by searching on like which technology is popular, and Google Trends and everything you can see. So you'll clearly see that React.js is right now becoming much more popular in comparison to any of the framework out there. So I would suggest you, if you are just a beginner, or if you want to build only UI based applications, or some like face to face development, so in that case you can go with React.js right away. But if you want to become much more expert, or become explore some advanced topics, then in that case AngularJS is the right option for you. So that's it. Thank you.